Good morning or afternoon or day, wherever you are. Welcome. We're really glad to have you. My name is Anna Ferry. I'm the current convener for the Health Sciences Interest Group, part of ACRL. We're very glad you could join us today and very glad to have our panelists with us today. I'm going to pop into the chat real quick here. This is the link to our LibGuide for the Health Sciences Interest Group. If you'd like to find a little bit more about us on there, we're welcoming to anybody who's interested in working in or maybe was at one point and just wants to keep their finger in health sciences liaison work. All library workers who might work with or support health sciences in a broad definition thereof. Please feel free to join us. I'm also going to pop into the chat right now the link to ACRL's webpage for us. There's information on there on how to join our ACRL Connect, ALA Connect site for the Health Sciences Interest Group. Whether you are a member of the Health Sciences Interest Group or ALA or ACRL, doesn't matter, you can still join and join in the conversation in there. And we share lots of job opportunities and a lot of other information on there, so please join us. And that's all I'm going to say about the Health Sciences Interest Group, because the point of today is actually to talk about workplace empowerment and engagement during the pandemic. And we were super excited to welcome Susanne Markgren and Linda Miles. Susanne Markgren is the Assistant Director of the Library for Technical Services at Manhattan College. She serves on the boards and local and national committees and associations and consortia. She enjoys collaborating with colleagues on professional development endeavors and coordinates the mentor program for ACRL New York. Linda Miles is an assistant professor, reference coordinator, open education resources librarian, and liaison librarian to the Faculty of Early Childhood Education and the Visual and Performing Arts at Hostess Community College. My goodness, that's a lot of title on there. She discovered her love of teaching in the library of Lincoln Center Institute for the Arts in Education and actively collaborates with colleagues through involvement in organizations such as ACRL New York and Metro. And I'm going to step back and let these two take control. And they have noted on their slide, they have in the chat, introduce yourself and tell everyone how you are doing today in the chat. And if you're just joining, remember that you do have to make sure your chat is set to go to everyone, to all panelists and attendees on there. Take it away.
Great. Thank you so much, Anna. It's exciting to be here with you guys today. Happy Friday. Hope you're all doing okay. And just a little background, Linda and I have been collaborators for many, many, many years. And we share a passion for professional development and creating professional development activities and workshops such as these for you guys. We wish this could be in person, and hopefully we can do this someday soon in person again and meet some of you. It's much more invigorating when we can see your faces and have an actual discussion. But right now, Linda and I will just talk and follow the chat, and we're going to put you guys to work a little bit. This is, activity related. And the idea of these themes, empowerment and engagement, seem particularly relevant right now, obviously, as we are all kind of struggling with navigating, reopening, and figuring out what the fall semester is going to be like as we come back, and dealing with everything that happened last year and thinking about the future. So we're going to have some writing prompts for you and some reflection on these two themes of engagement and empowerment. And but we've done some writing projects recently. Linda and I have a book that came out in 2019, not that long ago, pre-pandemic. That's the new word, right? And we did a couple of chapters recently that are still in the editing phases for ACRL publications. One's on burnout and one's on mid-career librarianship and leadership. And the themes of engagement and empowerment, we feel, has come up, in all of our writing projects, and it's really huge. So that's why we thought of this as a great workshop and discussion topics. So we're excited to be with you all today. And we already had the bio, so I think we're going to move into the next slide, and we'll give a little definition here of engagement. And we're going to do a lot of reflecting today and see how engaged you are, how empowered you may feel right in this time of uncertainty. So these are some definitions. A lot of this is taken from a lot of activities in our book, and we'll share some of them with you later and additional activities. So engagement is kind of the opposite of burnout. So if you're engaged, you're probably not burned out, but it's been a weird year. So how engaged are you feeling right now? So these are a few definitions. If you haven't seen the Gallup State of the American Workplace, obviously it's not just for librarians, but it's kind of a interesting study that they put out, and it's free. You can go online and download their research. But they say an engaged workplace is one where employees are highly involved and enthusiastic about their work and workplace. They are psychological owners, drive performance and innovation, and move the organization forward. And workplace engagement can be defined as a persistent, pervasive, positive state of mind. So I feel like probably we're all engaged part of the time, maybe not all the time, and it comes and goes in cycles. But I think we want to really focus on engagement right now and how we're feeling, and then maybe how we're feeling about the future. So we're going to go into our first activity, and Linda will take it away.
Great. Thank you so much, Susanne. So these questions, these prompts came from the survey questions that Gallup used when they were doing that research. And what we'd like to do is we'd like to have you choose one of these. Well, I guess there are 5 prompts here. I'll go through them quickly, and we will actually give you some time to do some journaling, do some reflection, and some thinking about how that prompt relates to your experience. So the elements that are covered in these prompts come from a general definition of what it means to be engaged. The first one is, how confident are you that you know what's expected of you at this point in time? And are there strategies for clarifying those expectations if you don't feel that you have that clarity? The second, are you afforded the opportunity to engage in some of the things you do best? Third, to what degree do you feel your opinions matter in the workplace? What impact does your opinion seem to have? Fourth, to what degree do you feel that your supervisor or someone else at work cares about you as a person, not as someone who can produce results for the workplace, but as a person? And how is this caring communicated? And the final prompt, would you say that you have a best friend at work? And if so, how does that relationship play into the work that you do individually and together? So if you would choose one of these prompts, and we will give you a good chunk of time to do a little bit of reflection. Susanne, you know, the thing we should have done is lined up some music for these intervals. I'm afraid we didn't think that far ahead. But please, we encourage you to dive right in, and we will bring back the conversation momentarily.
And play some music on your end to get the thoughts going.
Thank you so much. Great. Thank you, everyone. We would like to invite you to enter into the chat any observations that came to the surface as you thought about one of these prompts. Anything that you'd like to share. I can go ahead and start. I did some thinking on my own. I was looking actually at the first prompt about understanding clearly what's expected of me at work. And I have to say that I feel in my position that I am consistently needing to guess or ask for more information about what's expected of me. And this might be just part of the organizational culture, because our culture is very hands off and quite siloed. So people don't necessarily know what other folks are doing. I feel supported in so many other ways. That hands-off posture makes a lot of things possible, but it also means that I need to rely on certain strategies for sort of regularly putting a little tester out there to make sure that my understanding of what's expected is accurate, and that it continues to be accurate as things evolve in the workplace over time. I've got these regular check-ins I do with my supervisor, for example. Would anyone else like to share? Yeah, so Rachel's talking about a lot of freedom they have in what they do now. And it is nice, yes. Feel like it's freedom based in the fact that people don't care, not that they trust me in what they do, what I do. Well, that can be a real precarious position to be in, but you can still take advantage of the freedom. And then we have another, I'm sorry, I can't see the name in the chat, Amanda. My supervisor is amazing, and I do feel like she cares about me as a person. That's awesome. The support has helped in this past year. We all know this has been a year like no other year. And Mary talks about a work friend who has helped them feel less isolated while they're working from home. Been in the institution longer, so that institutional history is very helpful. Benign neglect. Yeah, that's a good way to put it, I think, Diane.
Yeah.
William was looking at the third prompt on whether your opinions matter. They were new in a managerial position, and the first person hired from the outside in over 20 years.
Wow.
Wow. This part should not be recorded if y'all want more chats. Thank you for that, Roxanne. I understand that. I think maybe folks might be able to go in and change the name that they are in the chat listed under. I'm not sure if that's possible, but Susanne and I will also be available, and we're happy to chat about this stuff, you know, outside of this particular webinar. So keep an eye on our contact information at the end. And I apologize if this is stifling the conversation a little bit. Peggy is writing about their supervisor, another amazing supervisor who cares about me in my life. That means cares about you, Peggy, as a person. And that's exactly what's at the heart of that particular part of the definition of engagement. Meet on Monday, so that's a weekly check-in, casual conversation, and catching up on each other's lives. Thank you for sharing that. Another amazing supervisor from Sue, checking on my comfort and focus without being intrusive. That is a skill. He holds me to high standards, but offers a great deal of guidance. That guidance is something I miss in my situation of benign neglect. I appreciate that. Yeah, so Anna says we could pause the recording during the discussion parts. If you feel comfortable with that, Anna, it's your ship to steer. So if you feel comfortable pausing the recording so that we might be able to get a little bit more openness in the chat, that would be fantastic.
A lot of us might recording in progress. A lot of us might feel like we have to be given the permission to have the power. But I think there's a personal aspect to it too. I really believe that we feel like we should maybe think about how we can take the power back ourselves. And we can all do that no matter what role we're in. So we want you to really think about empowerment and what kind of power you might have right now, whether it's power over your, department, or power within your own role, or what kind of power you might have in choosing your own path for your professional practice. So our next set of prompts is, how empowered do you feel right now?
Okay, so here is our next journaling challenge. We have 5 of these prompts, and they are adapted from a book called Building Teams, Building People, Expanding the Fifth Resource, by Harvey and Drolet. And we were really taken by the way they talked about empowerment. So the first, and you will again choose one of these 5 prompts and do some journaling. The first is, do you and your colleagues feel that the tasks and projects you are working on are important? Are there any areas of work that are less satisfying than others? Prompt number 2, are you and your colleagues provided with the resources needed to accomplish your work? I think this is a sore point for many of us. What type of resources is the organization good at providing, and where does it typically fall short? So that's a little bit of analysis about your organization. The third, how would you rate the level of encouragement you receive for working together collaboratively? Are there any areas of work where you would say your organization is resistant to a teamwork approach? The fourth, do you and your colleagues feel you are given appropriate praise and recognition for the work you accomplish? Are there areas of work you feel that do not receive the requisite positive response? And finally, to what degree do you and your colleagues feel responsible for and in control of your own personal future within the organization? And are there any elements of your future in the organization that you feel are beyond your control? So please choose one of these prompts about empowerment. Spend a little time again doing some reflection and some writing, we hope. I do see that we've gotten some comments, a comment from Scott, which actually is relevant to this topic. I'll just mention that before we go to the journaling. This is what thank you. This is what we're calling chat interactions. So,
Okay. Next slide. So this will be a little more, quick, fun, off the top of your head, and just type it in the chat. What is one pleasant moment, surprise, kindness, gift, etc., that has happened during the past year that made you feel empowered and or engaged?
William, congratulations, you got tenure. Fantastic. Mary found out they love working at home and got 2 kittens. Both of those things are amazing.
I got a dog. I got a COVID dog.
I also found out that I am more productive at work at home than I was at work, which I didn't expect. I consider that a gift. Oh, Matt and a colleague were interviewed for a campus video on library services. That's fantastic. Sue also got tenure. Yay. Go Sue. Amanda got confirmation that they'll be able to continue to work from home at least 2 days of work for now.
That's
to
amazing.
Cut down on commuting. Phase 1 opening almost completed. Remodeled ground floor, open 24/7. That's fantastic, David. Rachel, loving working from home and enjoying the quiet as an extreme extrovert. I never thought that would happen. Sarah got to spend lots of time with a 3-year-old and mom who keeps the daughter. That's great. Christy had a committee formed, got kudos for its continuing education series for the library staff, and it was all formed and done online. Amazing. Everyone received a $100 Amazon gift card if we received our shots.
Wow, that's amazing.
Little bonus. Little
Yeah.
bonus. Yeah, that'll go a long way, Peggy.
Yeah.
Well, somewhere anyway. Great. Suzanne, should we shift to the next one? We have one more of these chat interactions. So what is one thing you are hoping will happen in your professional life in the next year? What are you looking forward to? I'm looking forward to seeing some of my colleagues face to face once in a while. Stability,
Oh,
some measure of stability.
I can't wait to go back to in-person conferences.
Permanent rotation of working from home. I wish that for all of us, you know.
Yeah.
Continuous learning and keeping abreast of changes in my area. Thank you, Christy. The grant process, William. Matt, perhaps taking on a new job. Getting my first book chapter published. Jen, congratulations on that. I'm sure that'll be fantastic. Instruction in the classroom again. That we will finally be treated like regular faculty and allowed to work from home as our schedule allows. I'm crossing my fingers for all of us on that, Rachel. Sarah, hoping the university administration will rethink, this goes along with Rachel's comment, rethink their policy on working from home.
Yeah.
Co-teaching a credit-bearing course with a coworker. Elena, I'm right there with you. I'm doing that as well this fall and really looking forward to it. Sue, support to my colleagues as an interim associate dean. Congratulations on that, Sue, as well. William has 3 staff to get through tenure in the next 2 to 3 years. Anna, a library space inside Canvas, finally completed.
Nice.
Scott, classroom instruction, the favorite thing about their job. Roxanne, permanent conferences that offer online virtual participation so that it isn't limited to those who have institutional support.
I think that's going to be a thing, Roxanne.
I think it will
sure.
too.
They've already figured it out, so they have to do it. Every conference has to have virtual.
Peggy has been working in the library since it reopened sometime last year. Hated working from home, hoping to see more folks come back in. Thanks, Peggy. Great.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone. All right. So now we're going to go into a little Q&A, but we're going to turn it around to you guys to answer some of these questions, and then we will answer questions from you. But we thought we'd ask you, what are the indicators of a positive work environment? What have we learned that will help us respond better the next time a major crisis arises? Because it probably will. What are some ways to help ourselves or other individuals who are dealing with grief and stress? It's a big thing. What are some strategies for advocating for good working conditions when you feel like you don't have any control? And what are some COVID-19 silver linings, if you have any?
Just for a little bit of context, these questions came to us through past workshops that we've done. So these are questions that came from folks who were attending a workshop like the one you're attending today. And we would really like to know your opinion. So please feel free in the chat to respond to any of these. Open, psychologically safe communication with supervisors. Oh yes, thank you. Should we, let's pause the, let's go ahead and please. Thank you. Great, thank you all for coming. Please contact us if you have any questions or if you'd like to discuss some of these issues further, we would welcome that. We very much appreciate your participation today.
Thank you all for attending.
And this is Anna. I'm the convener from the Health Sciences Interest Group. We will post these slides for you all to be able to use to share these great questions on the Health Sciences Interest Group LibGuide, along with the handout from them.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Anna.
Thank you both.